Good morning, good morning. It's Friday, November the 9th, 2018. You're listening to RadioFreeRadford.com. Be sure to head us and like us on Facebook at Radio Free Radford. Follow us on Twitter at Radio Free Raddy and on Instagram at Radio Free Radford. This morning, I have no guest on. I've been pretty much limited on those this week, and I'm working on trying to get some club folks on here for next week. Those who have been the organizational leaders and such as the sororities, the fraternities, those who are in sports and athletic crews or whatever. And like I said, if you're interested in being a guest on this morning show, and I know you're saying, Dustin, 10 o'clock is too early. Well, we can work ways around that. We can get things possibly. We can work around your schedule if we need to do that for sure. And but anyway, I think I'm the earliest. I'm the first one here every morning. Just about. Yesterday, I did take the day off. I was wasn't feeling too great yesterday morning, and I needed to take a rest in a little bit. And I'm better today. I'm a lot better than I was yesterday, so that's a plus to all this. All right, back to the forecast, and enough of me rambling on. We're going to be seeing our temperatures staying near 48 degrees today, mostly rainy conditions pretty much all day. We've seen that rain come into play this morning, and it's going to be pretty much with us all day until about later mid-afternoon hours. We'll see the rain come to a close, and we can finally clear out, but it's going to be getting cold real quick. Temperatures are getting near 30 tonight. That's right, 30 degrees. Brr. I know it's been a little bit of a shock to the system because we have been pretty much all over the board over the past several weeks for temperatures up, down, and a lot of people are probably getting they've been getting sick, and they're saying, Dustin, why aren't you stopping this? Well, I'm just in promotion, not production, so I only have so much power that I can do and say to you all. But anyway, we're going to be seeing our temperatures pretty much staying in the 40s tomorrow and on Sunday. Will be very, very cold tomorrow, not getting above 40 again. But it's going to be an extremely cold start to Sunday, waking up in the upper teens, wind chill along with that in the teens and upper single digits. Yeah, this is not January, folks. This is November. So welcome to the New River Valley, and we thank you for choosing Radford, as Radford is the reason. And we are in for some cold weather over the next couple of days. We're going to be well below average, pretty much as we start next week. Temperatures at night feeling more like January and early February for forecast lows in the 20s and teens out here. And we're not going to be seeing any more warming up anytime soon. So I hope you enjoyed this last taste of some warm weather, I guess I should say, because it's not going to be getting much warmer anytime soon, unfortunately, as the cold air of the season has arrived. And this is probably the coldest we have seen in some while now. A couple of weekends ago, we did have some 30s at night, but this time around, we're going to be seeing the overnight lows getting below that, near the upper teens and lower 20s. So if you like the cold, like myself, get out there and, enjoy it, I guess. I don't know really many folks that enjoy the cold. I always know they always ask people this. I always hear them, they say, what's your favorite season? And they'll say, oh, it's summer. I'm like, so why is that? Because it's warmer, it's a lot more daylight. Well, that I can agree with. I like the warm weather, don't get me wrong. I like a nice summer day when it's about 80 degrees, the dew point about 65 or 60, at least not humid, but kind of not too tropical either, because if that's the case, anyway, if you get these, the dew points is basically how much the amount of moisture that is in the air, and here recently, the dew points have been extremely dry in the 40s and 50s. Kind of 50s is comfortable, 40s it starts getting dry, 30s is the dew point, it gets starting to get very dry out there, and so a lot of you all probably been using a lot of moisturizer and chapstick. I know I've been using a lot of chapstick here lately, so maybe if you're listening and what to get me for Christmas, I'll take a thing of chapstick, and and I'll be satisfied. But anyway, so this is little bit of that about, and so like I said, feeling more much like January than it is November. The calendar says November, but we're just getting a little bit of an early taste of Christmas feel, I guess. Kind of puts people in the spirit, and it does. I enjoy the Christmas season. Enjoy this time of year, and after Halloween, because actually I've got my birthday is 3 days before Halloween, so it's October 28th. After when my birthday hits, I'm ready to get right into Thanksgiving and Christmas. despite if the temperature outside is 50 degrees or 70 some degrees, it's still the season. And I know a lot of folks, especially back in my hometown in Martinsville, they've already started putting up their Christmas wreaths uptown as they're getting ready for the parade here in a couple of weeks. And our Christmas parade here in Radford, I believe it's the 1st of December. And I'm not sure the exact time, but that's the Christmas parade here in Radford City. It takes place down and off of the main city frame. You all know what I'm talking about. I'm slowly exploring this city itself as I'm just a freshman here. But yeah, there you go. So that's kind of interesting. All right, in our almanac today, let's see, today is the 9th. Back in 1913, we experienced the war storm that caused 12 major shipwrecks on the Great Lakes in the U.S. and Canada. That was set back in 1913, so roughly 105 or so years ago. That was today in history. And also tomorrow in history, our statue of the Lady Liberty, prompted. It was also first to be canceled. Oh goodness, cannoli. I think that's how you say it. Cancel-y. Okay. I'm not an English major. I'm sorry. I do apologize for butchering that up. But something about a lady, the statue of the Lady of Prompt of Succor was first here in the United States in New Orleans, Louisiana in 1895. So there you go. And Sunday is Veterans Day. We want to thank all of our veterans for everything they have been through. And of course, we had earlier Daniel Meany, who was on here on our Tuesday edition, was talking a little bit about that. He is a veteran himself, and we want to thank him for that, as he's been in a little bit of war. Time for that. So first of all, let's get a little bit of background knowledge on what Veterans Day is all about. You're saying, well, it's just a holiday. Well, it's not only just a holiday. It's a holiday that we honor our folks, veterans who fought in the United States. And I understand that several events are going on around town, and especially everywhere, especially in Washington, D.C., areas of those natures. The big cities are taken apart. And so the way this, we always observe it on Sunday. Sometimes we observe it on a Monday. But this year we're going to observe it on a Sunday and such of that nature. Moving on, let's see here. So this federal day, okay, let's see here. Trying to find some information about it. And so let's see. They have the Americans Parade in New York City, New York. We talk about Arlington National Cemetery puts on a big event, and the New York City Parade will be taking place Sunday. So you might be able to watch that on TV and or Facebook Live it. I think that's the new thing. Everybody likes to Facebook Live everything. They have to get there for that. And like I said, the Washington, D.C., they'll be honoring their veterans for sure. Let me get, if I can find the a little bit of background information about what is Veterans Day. It is an official United States holiday, usually observed on the November the 11th, that honors military veterans. That is a person who has served in the United States Armed Force for that part, and it conceded with the other holidays, including Armistice Day and Remembrance Day, and celebrated in the other countries that mark the anniversary of the end of World War I. Major hostilities of World War I were formally ended in the 11th honor at the 11th day of the 11th hour. So the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. So 11/11/11, and that's the way that worked out in 1918. So basically, it was 11/11/11/18, or 1918. Yeah, there you go. When the armistice with Germany went into effect at the urging of major veteran organizations, Armistice Day was then renamed Veterans Day in 1954. So there you go, kind of new. It was, like I said, it changed the name back in 54, and a little bit of that for sure. And back in 1919, former President Woodrow Wilson issued a message to the countrymen on the first Armistice Day, in which he expressed what he felt that he meant to Americans. And it's a long, he wrote a little summary about it. And back in the United States, the Congress adopted a resolution on June 4th, 1926, requesting President Calvin Coolidge issue the annual proclamation. By the way, he was not a president, I don't believe. And Maybe he was. I don't know. I'm new at this. And he was an American politician. I do apologize. John College Jr. was the 30th president of the United States. Okay, you learn something every day. And so, where was that? Okay, so it issues a proclamation calling for observance on November 11th with appropriate ceremonies. This act of 52 statutes, 351, 5 U.S. Code, Section 87, approved on May 13th, 1938. May on the 11th of November of each year. A legal holiday is a day to be dedicated to the cause of world peace and to be thereafter celebrated known as Armistice Day. And then we go back in 1954. The day was then transferred over to Veterans Day. All right, there's your Veterans Day for the knowledge. Alrighty, back to learning more stuff about history. If you're a history knob, I'm sure you're probably just all in with that. I know several folks here at the university, and also some family folks for sure that's very interested in listening to this morning. Alrighty, we didn't do our quote of the day on Tuesday, and because I got kind of excited as our guest was on, or did I don't think I did it. Let's see, was it Wednesday? He was on Tuesday. So it says, I am not a product of circumstance, I am a product of decisions. That was by, I'm so sorry, that was October 30th. All right, let me get here. I'm all over the place this morning. I apologize about that, folks. All righty, Tuesday, November the 6th. We did that one. November the 7th, we did not do. Be not afraid of life. Believe that life is worth living, and your belief helped create the fact. That was by William James. Yesterday, Eleanor Roosevelt quoted, great minds discuss ideas, average minds discuss events, small minds discuss people. And today, by the famous Michelangelo, he quoted saying, Lord, great that I may allow desire more than I can accomplish. And there you go. That's your quotes for the week. And pretty much for the weekend, we'll go into, as tomorrow, Dr. Martin Luther King quoted saying, the time is always right to do what is right. The reward of a thing well done is having it done. Also, that was for Sunday's quote. For Veterans Day. All right, moving on ahead to the schedule here in Radio Free Radford this morning. I've been all over the place, and I apologize about that. I've been taking a day off and kind of getting wishy-washy, but it's the weekend. We'll get things clicking and rolling here. Coming up today, we are hoping to have Tristan Blake Ryan's Black here in the studio. Hopefully, Nicholas Penninger will be joining him for the Ryan's Report on RadioFreeRadford.com. You can check his YouTube channel out, Tristan Blake Ryan's. Give him a nice subscribe. And while you're there, you can like the Ryan's Report on Facebook, and you can also follow them too with on there. So but he would support the like. But coming up later this morning, we will have. Let's see, where is the schedule? Moving on. Monday. Let's see here. It's Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. Okay. Coming up at 12, we'll have Joe Gerhardt from 12 to 12:30, and then coming up after him, we'll have Eureka Vinayer. I hope I pronounced that right. From 1:30 to 2. Then Tristan Blake Ryan's and Nicholas Penninger from 2:30 to 3. And then wrapping up the day, we will have Bailey Spear from 5 to 5:30. And if you haven't listened to her show, she's got some great, a lot of good content on her part of the show, and a lot of good things for sure happening here on RadioFreeRadford.com. Alrighty, folks, I think I've rambled on too much this morning, but, glad to be back on the air after a day of rest. I'll be back fully in function, hopefully on Monday morning at 10 a.m. as we'll be starting our week before Thanksgiving. Believe that, folks, time is just flying away, I tell you. So if you do have plans for a week Thanksgiving, we'll talk about the forecast for that. You can also follow RUWeather1 on Twitter and Instagram. Be sure to do that because you'll have all the latest weather information with Radford City and Radford University. And go follow Facebook at Radio Free Radford. And like us too, Twitter and Instagram. You've got the daily routine. And if you're saying, Dustin, well, that's a lot of information. Well, I can simplify this down for you. Head over to RadioFreeRadford.com and you can find all of that information there to come right there on the main page itself. Alrighty, I've done enough talking this morning. Make it a great weekend and stay dry, folks. Stay warm, as much colder temperatures are expected to be in the forecast for the rest of the weekend. It's going to be downright cold. In the meantime, have a great weekend and continue to listen to great hits on RadioFreeRadford.com.